Short but sweet. These rock songs show that short songs can still have a lot to say. Having less is always better. They're great for people like me who have a short attention span. Also, they're just as good as the longer ones. Here are some of the most famous short rock songs. One of them is even less than 2 seconds long. You heard it right, less than 2 seconds. Some songs only last a few minutes, but they are powerful enough to be remembered in the history of rock music and music in general. Some of the most famous rock songs are on this list. These are songs by well-known bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Led Zeppelin, and of course, the Beatles, who are always on the charts. Hello and welcome to Rated G, I'm Alexis. Here are some of the shortest songs in rock history. Starting at number 10. Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. The English rock band Led Zeppelin wrote a song called Immigrant Song. It is built on a riff that keeps repeating, and the lyrics talk about Norse mythology. Singer Robert Plant's howling vocals talk about making war and Valhalla. The song was on their Led Zeppelin III album from 1970, and also came out as a single. On different Led Zeppelin albums, there are also a number of live recordings. The song has been recorded by and played live by other artists. Though Led Zeppelin are typically regarded as an album-oriented group, Immigrant Song is one of the band's several hit singles. The song's popularity has led to its inclusion in such compilation albums as Led Zeppelin Remasters, 1990, and Early Days, The Best of Led Zeppelin, Volume 1, 1999. Number 9. Help by the Beatles. Help is a song by the English rock group The Beatles. It was the title song for the 1965 movie and album of the same name. It came out as a single in July 1965 and was number 1 in both the US and the UK for 3 weeks. Help was written by John Lennon with some help from Paul McCartney. The song is credited to Lennon and McCartney. In a 1980 interview with Playboy, John Lennon said, "Everything about the Beatles was just hard to understand. I was silently begging for help." It was number 29 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 best songs of all time in 2004 and 2010, and then number 447 on the list for 2021. Number 8. Blitzkrieg Bop by Ramones. Blitzkrieg Bop is a song by the American punk rock band Ramones. It was their first single to come out in the United States in February 1976. It was the first song on their first album Ramones, which came out 2 months later. The song was written by the whole band, but the music and lyrics were done by drummer Tommy Ramone and bassist Dee Ramone. The song is often sung at sporting events, where it has become a well-known chant. "Hey! Ho! Let's go!" is sometimes used to bring people together. Blitzkrieg Bop was listed as the 92nd best song of all time by Rolling Stone in 2004. In March 2005, Q magazine put it at number 31 on its list of the 100 greatest guitar tracks. In 2008, Rolling Stone put it at number 18 on its list of the 100 greatest guitar songs of all time. VH1 called it the 25th best hard rock song of all time in 2009. Number 7. Song 2 by Blur. Song 2 is a song by English rock band Blur. The song is the second song on their eponymous fifth studio album. Released on April 7, 1997, Song 2 peaked at number 2 on the UK singles chart, number 4 on the Australian ARIA singles chart, and number 6 on the US Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart, now called the Alternative Airplay chart. At the 1997 MTV Video Music Awards, Song 2 was nominated for Best Group Video and Best Alternative Video. At the 1998 Brit Awards, the song was nominated for Best British Single and Best British Video. In 1998, BBC Radio 1 listeners voted Song 2 the 15th best track ever. In 2011, ENMI placed it number 79 on its list. 150 best tracks of the past 15 years. Number 6. Effervescing Elephant by Syd Barrett.
Effervescing elephant with tiny eyes and great big trunk, once whispered to the tiny ear.
Effervescing Elephant is a song taken from the album Barrett, the second and final studio album of new material released by former Pink Floyd frontman Syd Barrett. This song is taken from a poem by Edward Lear and is known for its typically childlike rhythm, as if Syd Barrett were telling a fairy tale to a child. The album's recording began on February 26, 1970, at Abbey Road Studios, and lasted 15 sessions until July 21, 1970. Pink Floyd's David Gilmour and Richard Wright produced the record, and they also played bass and keyboards respectively, along with previous Madcap member Jerry Shirley on drums.
Everyone was nervy, oh yeah, and the message was spread to zebra monkeys.
Barrett was released on Harvest in the United Kingdom in November 1970, but it failed to chart. It was reissued in 1974 as part of Syd Barrett, which was the first US issue of these LPs. There were no singles released from the album. Barrett's two albums, The Madcap Laughs, 1970, and Opal, 1988, were remastered and reissued in 1993, both independently and as part of the Crazy Diamond box set. In 2010, a newly remastered version was published. Number 5. Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want by the Smiths.
So please, 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 let me.
Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want is a song by the Smiths, an English rock band. It was released in 1984 as the B-side to the Smiths single, William, It Was Really Nothing, and was later included on the compilation albums Hatful of Hollow and Louder Than Bombs.
Get what I want. Lord knows it would be the
Numerous other artists have covered it. The sound of the mandolin, played by producer John Porter, dominates this tune. The words are a prayer for a better life and to break free from the solitude into which the protagonist of the song has plunged himself. In 1985, the Dream Academy covered Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. This rendition peaked at number 83 on the UK singles chart. In 1986, an instrumental version of this cover was used in the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Number 4. Tommy Can You Hear Me? By The Who. This song from the rock opera, Tommy, by The Who only lasts 1 minute and 36 seconds. Even though the song is short, it stands out on the album because it shows how creatively the band uses synthesizers and layered vocals. Taken from the double album Tommy, which came out on May 17, 1969. It was the fourth studio album by the English rock band The Who. Most of the music on the album was written by guitarist Pete Townsend. It is a rock opera about a man named Tommy Walker. Tommy was very upset when he saw his father kill his mother's lover. Tommy's parents make his trauma even worse by denying what happened. As a result, Tommy becomes disconnected, deaf, dumb, and blind. The next terrible thing that happens to Tommy is that he is sexually abused. Tommy's way of dealing with his trauma is to separate himself from it even more by playing pinball. He gets a lot of fans because he is good at pinball. After many failed attempts to help Tommy get better, a doctor gives him a mirror so he can look at himself and what he has been through. Instead, Tommy starts to care only about himself and starts to see himself as the Messiah. Tommy comes out of his dissociative state when the mirror finally breaks. Tommy then tries to convince his followers that he is the only way to get better. His followers gave up on him and his teachings in the end. Number 3. Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon by Queen.
I go out to work on Monday morning. Tuesday I go off to
One of their more underrated songs, but a great one nonetheless. It's not very long, yet Freddie Mercury can make a tune that lasts for only 5 seconds sound absolutely devastating. In Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon, the author describes a regular week in a man's life and how much he anticipates the weekend. The band Queen has played this song live numerous times. It's enjoyable to listen to, And not just because of the stunning vocal harmonies.
As I go painting in the Louvre.
Included on Queen's fourth studio album, A Night at the Opera, which was released on November 21, 1975 by EMI Records in the UK and Elektra Records in the US. Number 2. You Always Sing the Same by Red Hot Chili Peppers. You Always Sing the Same officially lasts 19 seconds, but the singing part is even shorter, just 15 seconds. In this particular song, singer Anthony Kiedis always repeats the same words from beginning to end. Taken from the Red Hot Chili Peppers' self-titled debut album, released on August 10, 1984. Wow, that's a fast one. But before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe to Rated G and hit the bell to get notified on our latest video. And at number 1, You Suffer by Napalm Death. Are you ready? It's gonna be fast. And here it is. You Suffer lasts just over a second, and for this reason it holds the record for the shortest song in history. According to the Guinness World Records, their song, You Suffer, is the shortest song ever recorded. Taken from Napalm Death's debut studio album, Scum. In 1987. The song consists of a single guttural scream, backed by a burst of guitar and drums. In March 2023, Rolling Stone ranked the song at number 72 on their 100 Greatest Heavy Metal Songs of All Time list. Given its brevity, Napalm Death had no problem playing this song in all their concerts. You want to hear it again? Here it is. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Check out these other clips from Rated G, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get updates on our newest videos. Thanks for watching this episode. I'm Alexis. 4 of Rated G.